Hard times will make you feel like everything is against you. They'll make you question if you even belong in the race. But those hard times are not sent to destroy you. They're the training ground for the next level of your life. God uses those seasons to prepare you for things you've been asking for, even when you don't realize it. You can't step into the blessing until you've been trained for the weight of it. Think about athletes. They don't get stronger by sitting at home watching TV. They grow through training, sweat, and pushing past their limits. That's the same way life works. You want to be better, stronger, wiser? Then don't run from hard times. They're building you into someone who can handle what's ahead. When you're in the middle of the struggle, you may not see it as training. It feels unfair, it feels heavy, it feels like you can't take another step. But later, when you look back, you'll realize it was that very season that shaped your strength. That training ground was the birthplace of your resilience. God doesn't give big assignments to people who haven't been trained. If you ask Him for more, expect Him to put you through something first, because if He gave it to you without preparation, it would crush you. Hard times teach you how to carry the weight of destiny. Every tear, every disappointment, every setback you've faced, it's part of the training. You've been learning lessons you didn't even know you needed. You've been toughened for a future you haven't even seen yet. That pain wasn't wasted. That struggle wasn't empty. So when life feels like it's beating you down, remind yourself, this is training. God's preparing me for more. He's conditioning me for bigger. He's shaping me for the next chapter. And when you finally step into it, you'll know exactly why you had to go through what you did. Hard times don't mean you're weak. They prove you're being trained for greatness. Comfort will keep you where you are. It makes you feel safe, but it doesn't make you grow. Pain, on the other hand, is a teacher like no other. Pain will open your eyes to things you never paid attention to before. It will push you to move when comfort would have left you stuck. When life hurts, you find out just how much you can handle. Pain introduces you to a version of yourself you didn't even know was there. You find out you're tougher than you thought, stronger than you realized, and more capable than you imagined. Comfort doesn't do that. Pain does. There are prayers that only come out of pain. When you're comfortable, you don't pray the same way. You don't cry out the same way. Pain has a way of pulling you closer to God, because when nobody else understands, you learn He's the one who never leaves. Comfort makes you think you don't need God as much. Pain reminds you how much you depend on Him. That's why He allows it. Because without those seasons of hurt, some of us would drift too far, thinking we can handle everything on our own. Pain puts you back on your knees. You may not see it while you're hurting, but pain is shaping your heart. It's softening you where you were hard. It's strengthening you where you were fragile. Pain is molding you into someone who can carry not just blessings, but responsibility. Don't run from pain. Don't despise it. Don't think it means you've been abandoned. Pain is a part of the making. It's a message from God that something greater is on the other side. Comfort may feel good, but it doesn't take you anywhere. Pain is the vehicle that drives you into destiny. When it hurts the most, that's when you're learning the most. Everybody wants the reward, but not everybody is willing to endure the struggle that comes with it. Struggle is not a punishment. It's the place where your real character is built. When you've got to fight for every step, when you've got to keep moving even when you're tired, that's where your foundation is being laid. Character doesn't grow in easy seasons. It grows when you have to choose integrity over shortcuts, when you have to keep going without applause, when you have to stand strong even though nobody sees what you're going through. That's the struggle that makes you. Struggle teaches you how to be disciplined. It teaches you how to wait, how to work, how to believe even when you can't see. It builds in you a toughness that comfort will never create. Struggle makes you trustworthy with what God is about to release in your life. Without struggle, you'd be shallow. Without struggle, you'd be entitled. Without struggle, you wouldn't know how to appreciate the victory when it finally comes. The reason you'll value your blessings is because you remember what it cost you to get there. Struggle is God's classroom. Every disappointment, every loss, every tough season, it's teaching you something about yourself, about people, and about Him. You may not like the lessons while you're in them, but you'll look back and realize you wouldn't be who you are today without them. The people who rise high without character crumble fast. That's why God allows you to go through the slow grind, the struggle, the hard nights. He's not just blessing you, He's building you. And when the blessing comes, it will last, because your character can carry it. Struggle doesn't weaken you, it makes you solid from the inside out. When life puts pressure on you, it's not random, it's strategic. Pressure squeezes out what's been hidden inside you all along. You don't even know the full strength of what God put in you until the weight of life presses it out. That pressure is not meant to break you, it's meant to reveal you. Think about a seed. Until it's buried in the dirt and pushed on by the soil, it doesn't grow. It has to feel the pressure before it breaks open and produces fruit. You're the same way. God allows you to feel the pressure because He knows what's inside of you has to come out. When you're under pressure, you'll start discovering talents and gifts you didn't even know you had. That problem you solved when you didn't think you could, that was purpose being revealed. That strength you showed when you thought you'd collapse, that was destiny rising up inside you. Don't curse the pressure. It's the birthing place of your calling. Pressure is what pushes people into their real assignment. Pressure will take you from ordinary to extraordinary. It's uncomfortable, but it's necessary. If life were always easy, you would never push yourself beyond your comfort zone. But pressure forces you to step into new territory. It demands that you grow, that you stretch, that you rise. And when you rise, you see what you were truly made for. Pressure is proof that you're carrying something valuable. Nobody puts pressure on what's empty. If you're feeling it, it's because there's something inside of you that has to be revealed to the world. That pressure is the sign you're closer than you think. Purpose doesn't come alive in calm, it comes alive in pressure. It's easy to think that when things don't happen on your timeline, it means they won't happen at all. But God doesn't work on our clocks. A delay doesn't mean denial, it means development. God is preparing you while He's preparing the blessing. If you got everything you asked for right when you asked for it, you wouldn't be ready to handle it. Some blessings require maturity. Some doors require growth. Some opportunities would destroy you if you stepped into them too soon. That's why God delays them until you're prepared. Delay teaches patience. It teaches you how to trust when you can't see. It teaches you to keep moving even when the finish line looks far away. Delays build something in you that instant success never could. When you're waiting, it's not wasted time, it's preparation time. Every day you stay faithful, every time you keep showing up, every prayer you pray in the waiting season is depositing strength into your future. You're being stretched for the size of what's coming. Don't despise the delay. Don't let impatience make you walk away from what God promised. Delay is the space where God tests your endurance. It's where He checks if you'll still believe when nothing seems to be happening. The enemy wants you to quit in the delay, but God wants you to prepare, because when the delay is over, doors will open faster than you can imagine. But only those who stayed faithful in the waiting will be ready to walk through them. Delay is not denial, it's divine timing. You thought that opportunity was the one and it slipped away. You thought that person was forever and they walked out. You thought that job was secure and they let you go. Rejection stings, but what feels like rejection is really God redirecting you to where you're supposed to be. God doesn't let everything work out because not everything fits your destiny. Some things you wanted would have been traps if you held on to them. Some people you prayed for would have destroyed you if they stayed. Rejection is painful, but it's protection in disguise. Every no you've heard was not the end. It was guidance. It was God saying, not that one, I've got better. But in the moment, it feels like loss. In reality, it's a divine rerouting to something greater. Rejection humbles you, but it also sharpens you. It forces you to reevaluate, to grow, to trust God's direction more than your own plan. It reminds you that your destiny isn't in people's hands, it's in His. The doors that close on you today may be the very reason you walk into the right door tomorrow. Don't waste your energy crying over closed doors. Thank God that He cared enough to block what wasn't for you. Every person who left you made room for the people who are supposed to walk with you. Every opportunity that slipped away cleared the path for the right one. Every setback of rejection is a setup for redirection. Rejection is no at the end. It's God's way of pointing you to the right beginning. Life will knock you down. Things won't go your way. Plans will fall apart. But what looks like a setback is actually a setup. God uses the very moments you thought would bury you to position you for the breakthrough you couldn't see coming. Setbacks hurt. They make you feel like you've failed, like you've lost time, like you're behind everyone else. But what you don't realize is that setback is building momentum. God is pulling you back like a slingshot, so when He releases you, you'll go further than you imagined. Every great comeback story starts with a setback. You can't rise if you've never been knocked down. You can't appreciate the comeback if you've never felt the sting of the fall. That's why God lets you go through it, so your story has power. Setbacks shift your focus. They strip away what doesn't matter. They remind you that you can't do this on your own. They reset your vision, so when you rise again, you rise with clarity. Don't despise the setback. Lean into it, because while you're worrying about what you lost, God is working on what you're about to gain. That setback is the soil where your greatest growth is taking root. The enemy wants you to stop in the setback, but God wants you to see beyond it. He wants you to recognize that this is not the end, it's the middle of the story, and the setup is already in motion. Setbacks don't cancel destiny, they launch it. Faith sounds good when the sun is shining and everything is working, but faith isn't proven in comfort, it's proven in the fire. When the storm hits, when the bills pile up, when the doctor's report shakes you, that's when you find out what your faith is made of. Fire doesn't come to destroy. It comes to reveal. Anybody can believe when it's easy. Real faith is believing when it's hard. Real faith is standing when everything in you wants to sit down. Real faith is saying, I still trust God, when you don't understand why life turned upside down. That's the kind of faith that fire produces. The fire strips away what's fake. It burns off the doubt, the pride, the shallow parts of your faith. What's left after the fire is stronger, purer, unshakable faith. The kind of faith that can't be bought. The kind of faith that can't be shaken by storms. When you go through fire, you don't just come out the same, you come out different. You come out with a testimony. You come out with authority. You come out with a strength that other people look at and say, if they made it, I can make it too. Don't despise the fire. It's a refining place. It's where God proves to you that you're not walking alone. In the fire, you find out He's with you in ways you never knew before. You don't just read about His faithfulness, you live it. Fire seasons will make you cry, they'll make you doubt, they'll make you ask questions, but they'll also make you unshakable. Because after you've been through the fire and survived, you don't fear the flames anymore. You know they can't destroy you. Faith isn't proven on the mountaintop. It's proven in the fire. Everybody wants the blessing, but nobody wants the process that comes before it. The process is where God does His best work. The process is where He shapes you, molds you, breaks things off of you, and builds things in you. You can't skip it because the process is what qualifies you for the promise. We live in a world that wants everything instant. We want shortcuts, fast results, overnight success, but destiny doesn't work like that. You can't microwave purpose. You have to walk through the process step by step, season by season. The process teaches you patience. It teaches you to work even when you don't see results yet. It teaches you to trust God's timing instead of your own. Skipping the process would mean skipping the lessons that prepare you for the weight of your assignment. The process is frustrating. It feels slow. It feels like everyone else is moving ahead while you're stuck. But what you don't see is that while you're waiting, God is building something inside of you that nobody can take away. When the promise finally comes, you'll appreciate it more because of the process. You'll value it, protect it, and handle it wisely because you know the cost of getting there. The process makes you a good steward of what God gives you. If you try to grab the promise without going through the process, it won't last. But if you endure the process, the promise will stand firm. The foundation will be strong enough to carry everything that comes with it. The process is not punishment. It's preparation. Sometimes God allows us to be broken before He blesses us. Brokenness feels humiliating. It feels like you've lost everything. But in reality, brokenness clears out what can't go with you into the next chapter. It's not destruction. It's preparation for breakthrough. When you're broken, you finally let go of pride. You stop pretending you've got it all together. You stop relying on your own strength. Brokenness puts you in the position where God can finally do the rebuilding. It's in brokenness that you cry out with your most honest prayers. Not polished prayers, not rehearsed words, but raw cries from the heart. And those are the prayers God responds to because they come from a place of truth. Brokenness hurts, but it also heals. It strips away what was fake and leaves only what's real. It removes the masks, the distractions, the idols, and brings you face to face with who you really are and who God really is. Breakthrough doesn't come to people who refuse to be broken. It comes to those who let the breaking process happen, who surrender in the middle of it, who trust that God is doing something even when they can't see it. Brokenness gives you compassion. It gives you humility. It gives you a deeper understanding of people who are hurting because you've been there yourself. And when you've been broken and rebuilt, you become a testimony for others that breakthrough is possible. What feels like breaking is really the doorway to breakthrough. Growth doesn't come from ease, it comes from resistance. Just like muscles only grow when you put them under weight, your spirit only grows when it's under pressure. Resistance doesn't mean you're weak, it means you're being strengthened. We don't like resistance, we want smooth roads, easy paths, quick answers, but if everything came easy, we'd never grow. Resistance is God's way of making sure you're strong enough for what's ahead. Resistance develops endurance. It forces you to push past your limits. It teaches you not to give up when things get hard. Every time you push against resistance, you're growing stronger, even if you don't see it right away. Think about it. Every obstacle you've overcome has made you wiser. Every challenge you've faced has made you tougher. Resistance is the training ground for resilience, and resilience is what carries you through to your destiny. Without resistance, you'd stay the same. You'd never discover what you're capable of, but resistance stretches you. It pulls greatness out of you, it demands more, and in giving more, you discover more. Resistance isn't your enemy, it's your growth partner. It's not there to stop you, it's there to shape you. The heavier the resistance, the greater the growth that's being developed inside of you. The presence of resistance is proof that you're being prepared for more. When storms hit, they reveal the truth about your foundation. A storm doesn't ask permission. It shows up, shakes everything, and exposes what's weak, but it also proves what's solid. You never know how strong you are until the wind starts blowing. Storms strip away illusions. They show you which relationships are real and which were just convenient. They show you where your faith really stands. They show you if your trust is built on God or on circumstances. Storms don't last forever, but while they're raging, they teach you endurance. They teach you how to anchor yourself deeper in God. They teach you to let go of things that can't survive the storm so you can hold on to what truly matters. Every storm leaves a mark, but those marks are proof that you endured. They're a proof that you didn't crumble. They're proof that your foundation held when everything around you was shaking. Don't be afraid of storms. They're necessary. They expose weakness so you can strengthen it. They highlight what's solid so you can build on it. They may shake you, but they won't break you if your foundation is strong. Storms prepare you for the next level, because if you can handle the storm you're in now, you'll be ready for the weight of the blessings that come after it. The stronger the storm, the greater the stability it builds in you. Storms are not there to ruin you, they're there to reveal you. Don't hide your scars. Scars are not signs of weakness, they're signs of survival. They tell the world you've been through the fire and came out on the other side. They're living proof that what was meant to destroy you didn't succeed. We live in a culture that wants to look perfect, to cover up the flaws, to pretend nothing ever happened. But your scars are part of your testimony. They're reminders of what God brought you through, and they give hope to people who are still in their battles. Scars carry power because they carry authenticity. Nobody can argue with your story when they can see the scars that prove it. Your scars say, I've been wounded, but I'm still here. I've been broken, but I've been healed. The pain that left scars in your life is the same pain that qualifies you to encourage others. People don't need perfection. They need real. They need someone who's been through it and can say, if I survived, so can you. Your scars will open doors that smooth words never could. They make you relatable. They give weight to your words. They show that you don't just talk about faith, you've lived it. Don't be ashamed of your scars. Wear them as reminders of God's faithfulness. Every scar is a chapter in your story, and that story might be the key to unlocking someone else's freedom. Your scars aren't ugly. They're beautiful evidence of survival. Gratitude doesn't change your situation. It changes you in the middle of it. When you choose to be grateful even in hard times, you shift your focus from what you lack to what you still have. Gratitude is a weapon that keeps your spirit strong when life tries to weaken you. Hard times will make you want to complain, to give up, to get bitter, but gratitude flips the script. It forces you to look at the blessings you've overlooked. It reminds you that even though life is tough, you still have breath, you still have hope, you still have God on your side. Gratitude makes room for more. When you're grateful for the little, you prove you're ready to handle the big. Gratitude multiplies blessings because God can trust a grateful heart more than a complaining one. When you're in the fight of your life, gratitude keeps you focused. It keeps you from spiraling into negativity. It keeps you anchored when the storm is raging. Gratitude doesn't erase the pain, but it gives you strength to endure it. Gratitude humbles you. It reminds you that even in the darkest times, God has not abandoned you. It shifts your perspective from loss to survival, from fear to faith, from despair to hope. The enemy wants you to forget everything good and fixate on the bad. Gratitude fights that lie. It says, I may not have everything I want, but I thank God for what I've got. That attitude is what keeps you moving forward. Gratitude doesn't just change the fight, it helps you win it. The difference between people who rise and people who stay stuck isn't talent, it's endurance. Talent might get you started, but only endurance keeps you moving when the road gets hard. God uses tough seasons to train your endurance because elevation requires stamina. Endurance is built when you want to quit, but you don't. It's built when the odds are against you, but you keep fighting anyway. It's built when everything says stop, but something in you says keep going. That's the kind of endurance that produces elevation. God doesn't promote people who quit easy. He promotes people who endure. Because destiny isn't for the faint of heart. It's for those who are willing to keep going when nothing seems to be working. Endurance separates dreamers from achievers. Dreamers talk about it. Achievers fight for it. Achievers press through the sleepless nights, the rejections, the failures because they know quitting is not an option. Endurance is the muscle that carries you to your breakthrough. Without it, you stop short. With it, you rise higher than you thought possible. Endurance proves you're ready for the elevation God has prepared. The higher you go, the heavier the pressure gets. That's why God won't let you skip the endurance training. He knows if you can't handle it in the valley, you won't survive it on the mountain. Endurance today is the doorway to elevation tomorrow. Greatness is not born in ease, it's born in adversity. Every person you admire, every leader you respect, every story that inspires you came out of struggle. Hard times are the birthplace of greatness. Adversity digs deep. It forces you to find strength you didn't know you had. It pushes you past comfort into courage. It squeezes greatness out of you that would have stayed hidden if life was always easy. Hard times give your life weight, they give your story power, they give your journey authenticity. People don't follow perfection, they follow perseverance. They follow those who've been through something and came out stronger. Greatness is forged in nights when you cried yourself to sleep and still got up in the morning. Greatness is forged in seasons when you wanted to quit but chose to keep going. Greatness is the product of refusing to let hard times define you. If you avoid every challenge, you avoid greatness. If you run from every storm, you miss the strength it was designed to give you. Hard times are not obstacles to greatness. They are the very soil it grows in. When you finally rise, the greatness in you won't just inspire others, it will give glory to the God who carried you through the struggle. And People will look at your story and realize greatness is not about ease, it's about endurance. Hard times don't block greatness, they birth it.